Hi everybody, I'm the Idea Maker, and today I am going to be giving my official review on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, the thing is that I have already reacted and seen Dawn, War, and Rise of the Planet of the Apes already. I've actually already reacted to them. I've already done the recordings for the reactions for them, and I know I'm a little behind on my schedule for when it comes to other reactions, but at the moment, I want to get all my reactions for X-Men 97 completed before I go and I upload my grown-ups reaction and then my reactions to Rise, Dawn, and War for the Planet of the Apes. And I wanted to do this one first just because it's fresh in my memory, and on top of it, I want to do it as a special Mother's Day present for my grandma and my mom, which I want to go take them as well to go see this movie. And I just want to tell you, this movie is pretty amazing. Visually, it is very stunning. The plot itself, it's very interesting plot because I feel like there's some moments in it that it feels kind of reminiscent to the original Planet of the Apes movies from the 60s and the 70s, especially the one with Charlton Heston. It feels really close to it in some ways, especially when it comes to the main ape antagonist, Proximus. You'll get to understand in the movie. For right now, I'm not wanting to do a spoiler review, and I'd rather be doing a spoiler review when I go and react to the movie, because what I want to do, especially for this channel, is that I want to go and be able to react to the movie again after this review, so I can give more of a better review when it comes to a spoiler review. So this is just an overall review that I do not want to get into any spoilers whatsoever, especially for those who have not seen the movie and they're wanting to get more of an idea on if they should go see it or not. And from my opinion, I feel like this was such a great entry into the reboot franchise that I think that the story, it tells such a great new side of the Planet of the Apes characters that we have not seen yet, and especially because we get a whole bunch of brand new characters since this is set about several hundred years after Caesar's death from War for the Planet of the Apes. So it's gonna be a huge time jump, but there are some references to the previous movies, and I think that you would have such a better enjoyment to the story, and you would go in feeling like if you kind of have an idea of what's about to happen and what kind of directions they're going to take. Now, I want to say that because this is a different director, this is not from director Matt Reeves, this is from director Wes Ball, who he has directed the Maze Runner trilogy, and I want to say this movie does not feel like a different movie whatsoever. It feels very close to Planet of the Apes, and I feel like they all did the research, especially the writers, the director himself. And I want to say that this is such a great story to add to this franchise, or to the reboot franchise, and it's such a great step into the next step that this hopefully proposed trilogy is going to bring. And I've always been fascinated by how are these apes going to evolve after we've seen Caesar evolve in speaking in full sentences, being more human than he was than before. And I honestly am very impressed, and I was very blown away on how much these ape characters have evolved over several hundred years. And it's incredible to see that this is going to be the direction that they take, and I hope that they're going to take this bold new direction when it comes to the ape characters. And there are human characters in this as well, but it's interesting because it might not be in the way that you expect, but it's such a great way to continue this interesting conflict between apes and humans on which one is the more superior species, even after all this time. And I really love the directions that they take to this. Now, the ape characters are amazing. Every single actor who was in motion capture did an incredible job with bringing these characters to life and getting to be able to humanize these ape characters like we probably have not thought about. And it's amazing to see that at this point, the ape characters have already humanized themselves really, really well, and I cannot wait to see if they're going to go more humanized. Like, are they going to start losing their original way, how they used to walk around? Are they going to be more upright, like how human beings are? Are humans going to start devolving? We already kind of had a little bit of a glimpse of the de-evolution of humans when it came to War for the Planet of the Apes, especially when the virus mutated. So with this one, it's interesting to see that, where the humans are at. And again, I'm not going to go and spoil this movie, because I'd rather for somebody to go into the movie blind instead of having for them to go and see spoilers on YouTube or on social media or any of these other different platforms that we have right now. So personally, that's where I'm coming from. And hopefully, I hope that you guys understand where I'm taking this, so that way, in case if you see me do the reaction for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes when it comes out on digital, and you guys are thinking, wait, haven't you already seen this? And if you guys tell me in the comments, I have seen it, yes, but I do want to react to it again. I want to react to it for the channel as well, so I can give my best spoiler review possible instead of doing it now, because then at this time I want to go and make it a fair assumption where a lot of people have already seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and that way I can be able to give my honest reaction to it. But other than that, I think the writing to this movie, there's some really good writing, there's a lot of good dialogue, and these actors who are in motion capture suits playing the apes, they do such an incredible job on having to act like these ape characters and having to bring these ape characteristics into their characters that they're portraying, but they're also doing it in a way where they're not only doing the ape movements, but they're also bringing in this humanization to the characters that we've slowly been seeing, but now we've just fully seeing it, or at least almost coming into a full evolution of apes, going from these very, very primitive species to the apes that they are currently in this franchise. And it's amazing because I love the way how they even show us how after Caesar, how they lived, and how they're now into different factions and how they're into different groups. And it's interesting to see that every single one of these ape characters has some interesting amount of charm to them. And I'm even when it comes to the villainous ape characters or the antagonistic ape characters, because I say it in a way where I'm just so impressed by how the visual effects artists have done such a great job on keeping these characters, when they go and they do the visual effects on them and they do the CGI on these characters. And I see from there that when they when they animate these characters, they make it in a way where it's realistic, but they show emotion. And you can tell by subtle face changes, subtle facial expressions, with their eyes, with their body language. It's so incredible to see how far they've come to make these characters seem very, very human, despite them being apes. And I love what they've done to these characters to make us want to see more of them and want to see where are they going to take this and where they're going to take the franchise and these movies. So again, I really, really love this movie. The direction that they take, it really does set up another one. It does set up, well, hopefully another movie that I hope comes probably either in 2026 or 2027. But it really just depends on how successful it gets over at the box office, and I hope it's a really successful movie. I want to say that it's interesting that this movie also brings in a lot of interesting conflicts that we've already seen in the previous Planet of the Apes movies, but it expands on it and it makes you really think about the whole situation of what's the more dominant species. And I like that we get this debate on who's in the right. We get it a lot more in this one, and that I can say. I do want to say that it's such a great idea to bring this up in these movies because it's such a high stakes ideal to be toying with it. Because on both sides in this one, I feel like they're both of them are trying to tip the scale to seeing who is the more dominant and who is the one that's going to come out on top, especially with all the instances and events that have happened over the past 300 and some years that has happened between the first movie and this one. And it's incredible to think that this is where we're heading with this franchise, or at least in the rebooted franchise. But again, there's so much that could be said during this whole entire there's so much that could be said during out this whole entire journey that we're going to be on for the Planet of the Apes. And I just want to say too that if you think that you're not going to like this because it's taken a different direction, I say give this movie a chance, because it does such an incredible job on immersing you into its story, especially with these characters that we have now. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful experience. The scenery is gorgeous. The dialogue is really good, really excellent. It's interesting how much has passed, and in seeing this journey on where the apes have gone, it's just such an interesting idea to see that there's going to be some still siding with Caesar's ideologies, and there's some that think differently outside of Caesar's ideologies. And what's different about this one compared to the others is that I feel like for right now, this one makes you think that there's a clear antagonist for it, and that's what I felt at first when I saw the trailer for it. But I think the more time that passes when you watch this movie, I think there is no real. I think that you don't know who the antagonist really is, and you're just trying to figure it out. Like, is it the humans? Is it the apes? Is it their own? Is it someone within their own species? I mean, who knows? We don't even know. I feel like at this point, I don't know who the main antagonist really is, and I want to be able to find out when we get more of these movies. And again, I'm hoping that we get to this. I hope that we get to this point sometime soon, and I really, really want to see where we're heading with the Planet of the Apes reboot franchise. And I want to say that the interactions between the apes and the main human character that we get is so good, to the point that it's so believable that you wouldn't even imagine how believable it is. And it's amazing to see the chemistry between the different characters and how well the actors are portraying them. And it makes me want more when it comes to Planet of the Apes. I want to see more of these characters. I want to see more stories from this, and I think that this is going to be an incredible franchise. That I think that you could tell so many stories from this, even prequels between, or even movies that are set in between in the 300 years between War and Kingdom. And I really, really am happy that I went to go see this, especially for Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to you, Grandma. Happy Mother's Day to you too, Mom. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to get to do a revisited reaction to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes soon. And I want to say thank you guys so much for getting to watch this review of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I hope you guys can get to watch it right now in theaters. If you want to get the chance to see it in a really good environment, in a really good setting, I highly recommend going to see it in IMAX. I wish I got the chance of seeing it in IMAX, but this movie definitely deserves to be seen in an IMAX theater or in a big theater, whichever one that you prefer. But this movie definitely deserves to be seen up on a big screen before having to see it on streaming. But I want to say thank you guys again for watching my review, for watching my non-spoiler review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. If you guys want to see more videos like this, then please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on any of my social media, then you guys can go to my Snapchat, my Instagram, my Twitter, aka my X profile, my Discord and my Discord server, and my TikTok accounts, which all the links will be in the description below. And without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Happy Mother's Day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.